Hey, welcome to another episode of your favorite wrestling podcast. I am Crunk Chocolate, and I am here with the baddest, the raddest, the most dope, my podcasting partner for today. It is Greggo. What's up?
Is this one of those? Is this one of those like this is a very special episode of the afternoon special? Like you get the mood is somber. The mood is like, oh my god, we had to talk about something very serious today, and you know, like kids, you might need permission from your parents before listening to this because we're about to get this shit in tonight.
I mean, like, I get what you're saying, but if we're gonna be honest, we don't have to talk. Like, all I want to say is R.I.P. that old, overly tan, racist son of a bitch. A good riddance. Goodbye. I feel like we have talked about that son of a bitch many a times on the pod. There's not much more attention he can get. He's getting those LOLs. All the people were saying, no, it's not good to speak bad of the dead. Does he hear it? Does he know? Is he there like listening, LOLing or crying? No. He is like, down in hell. Oh, there we go. Like, if anybody has seen Little Nicky, he is bent over getting a giant pineapple shoved up his ass. That is exactly what is happening right now.
I think if anything else, I think just the overall reaction, especially obviously, you know, we have allies out here, you know, out here in the culture and out here in the Shades of Blue network, but at the same time, like Black Sky, Black Twitter, like just the level of unity that has come into place in light of the events today, because you know it's just one of those things where like it's kind of like what Drew McIntyre said, like I prayed for this moment and it happened.
Exactly, like that is the exact energy that we need. That is it, and that is all that dude is gonna get. Because honestly, what I want to talk about,
what you want to talk about?
I mean, it's a decent
about Cody.
It's a nice little transition actually, because Eric Bischoff once again doing all the interviews. Speaking of, bro got bailed out of that. He doesn't have to do that podcast anymore.
He doesn't have to do the promotion anymore, like that Real American Freestyle Wrestling. Like, first of all, that name was absolute trash. I don't know what they were thinking as far as like.
Oh, he was just trying to tie
it doesn't quite roll off the tongue quite the same way, and like
the curl wasn't quite curling, which is exactly what they wanted to avoid.
It wasn't even. It wasn't wet. It wasn't dry. It wasn't even done up yet. Like, I mean, sometimes life gives you a limit and says, you know what, just keep that limit right where it is. It nothing needs to happen to it. And
it doesn't need to be lemonade. It is perfectly fine just being a lemon.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes like you just get bailed out at the right moment, because I mean, all this considered, like I think like they supposedly just announced a deal with Fox Nation, which is streaming, and if you're in the Fox Nation, more power to you. The arena that they were supposed to be having their first event, I don't even think it had sold like 500 tickets. I think the first event would have been September, I think. So like, needless to say, again, sometimes you like don't block your blessings. Just go ahead and say, you know what, I received this for me. I received this for me.
Oh man. But speaking of Eric Bischoff, he was talking about TNA and how great the product has been as of late, and even said that TNA could end up being the #2 wrestling production. He said, and I quote, They're one deal away from being a major player. If they get a broadcast partner, if they get the right broadcast situation,
Right.
because they got the product, they know what they're doing. There's a good team of people. They just need a bigger platform. And if they get it, watch them take off.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this last week, and just going into Slammiversary this past weekend, it was their biggest North American show of all time. They were up in the New York Metro, I think, over on Long Island, and like for all intents and purposes, like even the aftermath of the show, with Trick Williams, I would say that again, like the idea should be, in order for this to work from a business standpoint, it should be in order to get them off of Access and over to a channel that can pay Anthem, and make them richer, make TNA richer, and allow them to do bigger and better things. Obviously, I'm sure we're probably going to go into the Slammiversary results, and I know there's a lot of people who will probably try to say that right now NXT and WWE is getting over on TNA, but I would actually argue otherwise.
Okay, well, let's not get too deep in it, because I mean I'm with you. You're actually heading directly in the way that I'm going, because NXT, for people who don't know, the TNA, they have a partnership. If you listen to us, because I have actually kind of been raging about this over the last few weeks, and just because of like how deep is this partnership, and it appears that it has roots, because JC Jane won the Knockout World Championship, beating Masha Slamovich. Trick retained against Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. The whole partnership, real long-term storytelling, which honestly I expected, but not, I guess, to this kind of depth. And I guess I'm interested in your perspective on how it's all going, because I guess I'll start here and I'll continue. I see why they're doing this, because everybody's thoughts are NXT is the better product. It's WWE. Of course, even WWE's amateurs are better than anything at TNA. So we're seeing it happen. And obviously TNA are going to win their titles back. Like, obviously they're going to have this big moment. And you would think it was Joe Hendry. You would think it would be Mike Santana. Those are the people who Trick lost. Maybe there's somebody behind the scenes that they're going to be able to uplift, because if we're going to be honest, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, those are people that we could possibly see at WWE eventually. So like and then just kind of with all this, because obviously things are picking up. we I guess we'll get to that in a second, but like what it really bums me out for is like people like Ariana Grace, who did the thing. She was a part of the early TNA like partnership, doing her thing over there, and now she's coming back. She looks like she's in the best shape of her life. She always was a great character. She just needed to do the wrestling. She seems to be like, there are all these people who were starting to cook that are being pushed to the side. Stacks, Tony D, Luca Crucifino, like they should be cooking. Lola Vice was sent to Triple A. Thea Hell gone. The Ruler, the NXT champion, he feels like the third wheel on his own show that he should be the top of. Obviously with JCJ. Fucking LFG is getting more and more attention on NXT. It's just frustrating me that yes, they're giving TNA more love, but it feels like it's becoming more and more rudderless on NXT.
I don't know about that. I mean, obviously, with what happened on NXT this past Tuesday with the interaction between Trick Williams and The Undertaker, clearly. Now, first of all, y'all see these glasses that I got on right now, right? You know, they weren't too much different from what Taker was wearing, and like for those of y'all who obviously grew up, you know, seeing The Undertaker, you know, in action in promos, him coming out in a Scully and some blue light glasses, the aura was not auraing, not at all.
like
And
moving
so,
all stiff and everything. It was just like, oh god.
yeah. But I will say this, clearly they have big plans for Trick Williams, because I mean, I don't think that they would be putting him in this spot, not just still near the top of NXT. You're also now at the top of TNA, carrying that storyline. I mean, for those of y'all that didn't see the viral moment that he had on Raw, stepping to the Undertaker, leading up to the interaction on NXT, like, dog, like that dude's ready. That dude's so ready, it makes no sense. And
his
no,
character is ready. He's in the ring. I don't know about that.
I would say that as far as in ring goes, he can do enough there that he won't be out of place. He won't stick up to Jordan. Now, can he get better? Absolutely. But of course, it's WWE. Like, as long as the character is there, everything else they can kind of shore up with time and experience. So that part I don't like. It's not like they have to make him world champion tomorrow, but I do feel like as far as just like making a mark sooner rather than later, he's definitely ready for that. But yeah, like I feel as though they have a lot of moving pieces right now, which I mean, obviously I think makes NXT, probably a destination show as far as just catching up on what's happening with the title scene, and obviously what's happening with Trick and A, or as I like to call it, because now that he's done his thing over both shows, I'm like, it's really Trick KO. That's really what it is. It's Trick KO. Like, he's over top of everything. He's at the top of the food chain. He's overseeing everything that is Trick KO. But I mean, JC Jane, like, I will say I was kind of surprised by that. I was very surprised.
And, I mean, I was too. Yeah, no facts.
And
because it all kind of seemed pretty like tossed together. So I guess I never expected her to win. But it does give her legitimacy, though. So I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, Masha is very good, and I think that obviously just given how she kind of beat Stephanie Becker out of nowhere to win an NXT championship. Nobody really expected that. So of course, and I think the obvious expectation was that she would ultimately lose to Jordan Grace. Obviously, that didn't happen because Blake Monroe cost Jordan Grace on that win, and of course, that's turning into a big thing, obviously, right away. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely a lot going on, but I feel like you're not only are you giving TNA a lot of exposure, you're also giving people that I think that probably have done the work for a long time. Like, I don't think people really thought that JC Jane would be the person that would ultimately stand up, because like she goes all the way back to Toxic Influence and Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolan,
like OG NXT, legit.
Yeah, and for her to be the one that ultimately became NXT champion and now she's the TNA Knockouts champion, like that's a big deal for her.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like I would definitely say that for what they all have going on, it's just, I wouldn't say this rudderless, it's just that you have a ton of moving parts, so you really have to pay close attention to everything that's going on. And of course that means that you have to tune in, because otherwise you might miss a whole lot all and a little bit all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm really happy for JC Jade, because I mean, like her as a wrestler, I'm not I'm not like super deep into her past and everything that she's gone through, but I definitely have watched her character grow and develop and do her thing, and now I'm actually very impressed with her and everything that she's doing. And
the one thing I really do like about her is just that knockout punch. I mean, like, all things considered, like that's a very legit looking punch. Like, I feel like man or woman, that punch looks legit, and I feel like that's something that, if nothing else, it's something that should be protected. It's something where if she can get it off, she can win any match. basically it becomes a game of we have to prevent JC Jane from getting that punch off in order to beat her, and and as long as people can do that, she's beatable. But if she gets that one hit quitter, it's a wrap. And I obviously they still see a little bit of mileage in having JC as NXT champion, and then now having her as
obviously they didn't believe
champ.
in her quite yet, but I mean she's earned it. I listened to her interview on a podcast, I don't remember which one, but she talked about how she'd go to the performance center, then after that she would go to another training facility and practice after that, and she did that for a while, and that is really where she started getting better and hitting to another level. And honestly, that's kind of what you need to do as a WWE. Like they need to see you going above and beyond. And how long she's been there, I'm sure there was only so much that she could probably learn and pick up at the development center. She needed to get around new people. And because I wasn't really impressed with her, but I will admit over the last few months, she really has started to kick a lot of ass. She definitely, they would give her the credit because she was there for such a long time, but it felt fake. But now she legitimately feels like the boss. I can't wait till their whole breakup happens, just because I am interested in where it's gonna go and where Fallon and everybody. I very much care about JC Jane now, and instead of a lot of the other wrestlers were my focus.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something where, once you pay attention to the hustle that's involved with someone when they want to make, because I mean, all this considered, when you've been in NXT as long as she has, sometimes those are the people who end up, getting let go before they make it to the main roster. Obviously she's definitely hungry to make it with WWE and get to the top as quickly as she can. And sometimes that does taking the extra step to, figure out a new hold, figure out, what else that you can do with your character. And I want to say it was Tyler Breeze's training center that she went to. But yeah, you're talking about, going the extra mile, because I mean, considering everything that they have available at the PC from a developmental standpoint, is I think that what she saw was that sometimes you need to be under different eyes and see that what else could I be doing based on what I'm currently presenting, and then it's just a matter of getting the right feedback and then apply it in a way that makes you stand up in the way that you need to. Because all this considered, we talked about this last week with Evolution, that the women's roster in itself is fucking loaded, and it's very easy, I think, for even people at the top to kind of slowly slide their way down, because they just simply have that many women that are coming up, whether it's NXT, LFG, or even Evolve. They have talent all over the place. So it really then becomes an onus on you to figure what can I do just to either hold down my spot, improve my spot, or keep or hold off whatever's coming behind me, because it's coming from all directions. And it really does become a case of where you got to stay sharp at all times. If you stay ready, you got to get ready. And I think in her case, she figured out I got to do more to become more ready, and people are recognizing that.
That's fair. Let's keep it moving, because Scarlett and Karrion Kross haven't been offered a new contract yet, and I'm pretty sure it expires in the next month. If WWE, I guess, don't want to calling the not re-signing dumb, I guess that's hyperbolic, because obviously everyone has their opinions on them. But to me, it feels like they could easily go to AEW and make themselves so much bigger. I'm gonna fantasy book them. This is exactly how I could see their best being used. Show up kick Wheeler Yuta's ass, knock him out of the Death Riders. Because he did, like, respectfully, bro, you don't fit in the Death Riders. And so he's in there now. Yeah, and now there's beef, there's legitimacy, there's intensity with him. And then Charlotte can go with Marina Sharif during matches, like be her manager on top of it. And worst case, if Scarlett wants to, could start tag teaming, because AEW is like women's tag team. It's not really existent. But it's just frustrating, because what's the point in this whole Sammy turn other than helping Sammy turn heel, obviously, because that's what he does, and it would be his magnum opus, because Sammy is like a top face when he is a face and gets enough time in front of the crowd and all those other things. It's just unfortunate that I'm going to feed into all the rumors that Paul Levesque just doesn't fuck with them, and you can kind of tell.
I think in Sammy's case, I don't think it's a case of where Triple H doesn't fuck with him. I do think that, given the certain views of Sami Zayn, no,
it's not that he doesn't fuck. He doesn't fuck with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. That's what I hear. I've heard that a lot.
That's a fascinating thing, because I feel like, because the old man let Karrion go, not long after he went all Mad Max with him when he put him on the main roster. And then as soon as Triple H took over, Karrion Kross was one of the first people that he brought back in. And but it was a very janky return, because he put him right in between Drew and Roman, but then never really did anything with that. And so, like, and then the next couple of years, you had everything with the Last Testament that really never went anywhere, and like now, and then obviously like most of this year, he's been on this on this journey as far as getting himself over any way that he can. He talked about it in a great detail over WrestleMania weekend, and it's something where I think that they clearly see that he is getting over. I don't know if they want to fully embrace it, because when you get to a certain point, it's like they want to put over the people that they want to get over, and I'm not sure if Karrion Kross is the guy that they want to get over. And until I feel like, because they haven't offered him a new deal yet, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I lean to think that they want to stay, but at the same time, if they don't, then what do you do? But
you go to AEW.
Yeah,
because obviously I don't think he's going to go to TNA, because obviously,
he's done TNA, and I feel like
he's above.
I don't feel like that would be like an upward move for him. I do feel like there would be opportunity for him in AEW. But yeah, I really just, that one's tough, because I feel like if they wanted to let him go, they wouldn't have him winning these matches. And so it's like, where is this all leading to? And until that gets sorted out, I don't know which way this is going. That honestly, that whole situation really has me stumped, because again, you're giving him on screen time, so it's not like you're trying to just act as if he isn't there. So what do you do from that point, as far as giving him the airtime, giving him the wins, and but you're not going to resign him? Make that make sense.
But also, it's Sami Zayn. You can do that with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn doesn't necessarily need the wins for the crowd to love him and support him, where Karrion Kross, I don't know.
At this point, Sammy doesn't need the wins, but at the same time, I feel like if at some point, especially if assuming that Karrion does leave, of course, you still have Sammy, and it's okay, y'all kind of scrubbed him out for a guy that.
No, I mean it's going to turn to his
ultimately
heel. That's the fastest way for a turn to then instantly get a title shot, because he's going to be a heel. He's going to go obviously attack whoever the champ is, and because the crowd loves him, they'll like cheer / boo, whatever, and that's all you need is enough heat to get a title shot. And also that's kind of like the veteran thing to do, is start a thing with the bad guy, talk your shit, manipulate, which that is what he used to do once upon a time, was manipulate. He'll get it. He'll be able to get a title shot. It's just like, does he do the heel and then you give him the Intercontinental, or you give him whatever, the American US title, like whatever show it's on? Do you give him a mid-card title in order to kind of build him back up to a top guy? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa. That whole arrest scene, obviously that's how it ended. It started with a supposed hit and run, which, the blood all over old boy's face. I was like, oh damn, they're going for it. But the whole situation, this whole program for the episode between those people, it felt very attitude era coded, and I loved every second. The ending with Solo Sikoa getting arrested, but not before it was announced that Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu are going to do a steel cage match during SummerSlam. I am here for this. It's great.
Cody,
it's
call me
ridiculous. He's such a great character, and I love it that people are seeing this now. And it's of course, he's hilarious. He's the brothers of the Usos, and they're funny dudes. So naturally, he's a funny dude. He's college educated. He just needed time. They did a huge disservice making him be the quiet, strong type.
He needed time and he needed the space. I feel like now, especially like when he's not underneath Roman pause, and he has the opportunity now where it's like he has his own little subsection of bloodline guys, and you're able to basically flesh out who Solo is beyond just like the core bloodline. And like you said, like he's, even though he's like mad younger than Jimmy and Jay, like clearly you can see who his daddy is, because like they all run in the line of unseriousness, and like they're just absolute just like they're just insane. They're insane.
And I love it. Obviously, Jacob Fatu, they're giving him a little less screen time. They're giving him enough screen time so people can't forget about him. But that rap song did not go well on social media, and I believe he's being treated as such. But obviously, the crap, and again, it's just a small it's a minority of the fan base who will be upset about that. So it is kind of one of those things. All you got to do is just kind of let him do his thing, keep his words that he says to a minimum, and eventually the crowd noise will come back to being the heights that it was, and time heals all wounds, and people will forget, or at least not care so much. And our people, we tend to forgive but not forget, and it'll be one of those things that he's always going to get joked about. Like it's going to be clipped, and depending on
for the right people will forgive. Unlike some people who act like they did nothing wrong, and then they died and they realize, yeah, that's on you, dog.
And it's he uses that whole Bay lifestyle a little too much, and everybody knows those types of dudes.
I mean, like he is. If nothing else, you could definitely say that with Jacob, like he is truly from the stereotypical streets, and he lived that life. Literally, he got locked up. He did a bid, and like he was able, but at the same token, he was able to turn things around and basically take those experiences and turn that into a character that's gotten over. Like I don't even, like, has it been a year yet for him? I think it's like been just over a year for Jacob, and it's like like they're talking about making him one of the faces of the company. Like for one, that would have never happened with the old man. They would have been like, oh, he went to jail, like he did time. No, we can't have that. So it really goes to show like how much internally they're able to like look past that and see that the person who he is now, that's someone that we should be investing in. But I feel like he'll get a little bit of blowback for a little bit, but I do think as long as he continue to keep his nose clean, he'll be fine. But Jacob, like, he is such a dynamic character. I do feel like he became what I think they tried to make Solo initially, and then once they realized, we have what we want there, it allowed Solo to become something entirely different and be more something that's more true to himself.
Yes, and again, I'm a fan of Jacob. Like, I am the type of person who's going to give him the leeway and the understanding and all that other stuff. But yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was very annoying hearing that song. And
I would rather, like, I have more of an issue with Pops, big Quiche, because he just be talking out of his ass sometimes, and like talking about like he just didn't feel like if his sons ain't champion, he got a problem. Like, boy, ain't nobody.
I mean, but that's those are popses though. They stand up for their kids.
But that's the thing. I'm like you were in the business. You know how this game works. I'm like, you acting like it's just impossible for your sons to not be champion. Like they literally did go like 14, 15 years without even really getting a solo run. So just cool your expectations.
That's fair. Both Raw and SmackDown, they've set up both of their tag team #1 contenders up for squash matches. On Raw, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro came back to remind us that LWO exists only to be getting sacrificed by Judgment Day. I know, like, bro, and I got it, because the other two teams, you don't want to cool them off, but Judgment Day, they can't lose the title so soon. They'll probably give them another like super long run, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And never defend the belts for like months and months and months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it did the same thing with the New Day. And then on SmackDown, Andrade and Rey Fenix, they won the triple threat tag team match, and they'll be facing the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six, they said in their own promo that they're gonna purify the tag team, so that means they're going to have to go through and beat everyone. So it makes sense that they're going to be given Andrade and Rey Fenix, because they aren't necessarily a real tag team, and then the White Six can kind of build their way up and take out every tag team at a time. This is the best way to, I guess, get people to take the tag team title seriously, but they definitely need to be wrestling more, defending the titles more. But I feel like every single time the tag team titles get some sort of heat or interest, it kind of falls apart.
I mean, it's one thing when, sometimes it is a case of like hot potato with any belt. But at the same time, with the tag belts, I feel like because it's so infrequent, I feel like it's very easy to be out of sight, out of mind, especially with everything else that they have going on with all the other belts. I mean, like, all this, like, I'm trying to remember, like, who is the women's U.S. champion right now? Like, I know who Intercontinental champion is. I'm like, I don't know who the U.S. champ is. I feel.
Chelsea.
Exactly.
Not
Chelsea. No. Oh, Julia.
Oh, is it Julia? Oh,
yeah.
This has been an awful run for her. Oh my god.
I feel like she has a match coming up at SummerSlam, but even then, it's like I could not tell you what the story is, as far as who she's facing, and like, again, like you're having to fight for so much Especially not a SmackDown is wisely back at 2 hours. Like you have to do more to stand out. And yeah, it's I can't remember the last time I seen Julia, even in just a regular match, just saying, hey, I need to beat somebody in 5 minutes. I ain't even got that. So yeah,
like they made the wrong choice when they made Stephanie Vaquer stay down and they eventually moved her up. They should have flipped it. Stephanie Vaquer could have went up, and I get like the hype about Julia. I get the but I see her in the ring. I'm not interested. Even like her walkout, it's so much. It still feels so like New Japan.
I feel like with her,
and she's so tiny, bro. Like is she not hitting the gym?
She's tall, but she's slim.
Like very.
And
it's not like Becky slim. She's like legit just slim.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna like. I feel as though.
Feels like Julia
like
Hart.
I feel like unlike Stephanie, where like there's just a natural charisma with her, and I do feel like she's at least putting in work as far as like mic time and cutting promos and stuff. Like I didn't see it in NXT either, so I'm just like I feel as though she probably could have used more time in NXT, and I guess because of her standing over in Japan, they were like, we can't really keep her over.
Just the crowd. The crowd would lose their fucking minds in NXT when she would come out. They weren't that excited about Stephanie. I mean, they were excited about Stephanie, but Julia definitely got the loudest noise. So that's when what made them think, okay, cool, we'll move her up. But then she came out and she's wrestling with these people, and she's not, and especially coming from New Japan, where they do that strong style. Like when they hit you, they hit you. But for some reason, she's not doing that. And there are even moments where she's wrestling with someone and they'll go to punch her and she's already like dropping before they even make contact with her. Like she's brought the soft style. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think that, I mean, obviously with NXT, they're a bit more connected as far as, they keep up with everything and everywhere as far as, the internet and all that stuff and what's going on over in Japan, more so than the main roster audience, because they pretty much stick to the main roster stuff more often than not. But I just feel like Julia could have used more time in NXT. I know the situation as far as her coming over to WWE from Japan, there was a little bit of drama there. So I don't know if like it was a case of where like as part of the deal, she had to be on the main roster by a certain time. But I just feel like she could have used probably like a good solid year in NXT, learning how to work the American way, the WWE way, and then at that point, she'd be more ready for the main roster where she would connect to the audience a bit better. Right now, like I do feel like turning heel was the best move, but at the same time, I feel like she probably could have used some sort of manager of some sort. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I absolutely loved This Is Nothing for Nothing. And we don't have to stay on it for too long, but I loved Ethan Page's promo on NXT. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
He broke, like, there were half of his promo you couldn't hear technically because it's on CW and the crowd's language wasn't PG.
Gosh, yeah.
That was very annoying. That was very annoying because he was killing it because obviously he was getting the crowd to feel a way about it. But yeah, doing the whole like Canadian, I'm the best North American. Like it's very similar to what Dirty Dom was doing almost. He's like flipped it made it his own, like changing of the belts. I love it. And then now going against the legend next week, and that's another like TNA NXT collaboration that they're going to be doing. Like I see what they're doing. I don't hate it. And also this is a good way to give See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, what do we do? Like, is that going to be another win for NXT? Like, is that another L for TNA? Like that. Again, I don't need to stay on it for long, but it just keeps me going back to it. It's just like, fuck, when is TNA, like, how and when are they going to start getting their lick back? Because it's going to happen, but it's like,
you know what?
when is it
I do feel like that in itself is the story, because I mean, clearly, I think they're like the people who are beating the TNA guys, they're heels, whether it's Trick Williams, whether it's Jason Jane, whether it's Ethan Page, and so it's painting TNA as the proverbial heel in this situation with everyone that they're putting up against those guys. So it definitely does. You do reach a point where it's like, okay, when are the good guys going to get their lick back and reclaim their titles? And I think the way things are going, here's my scenario. Of course, they had Slammiversary. Their actual biggest pay-per-view of the year comes up in October. It's called Bound for Glory. Hence the name itself, Bound for Glory. So I think that what you want to see happen is that the TNA guys get their belts back that night. And I'll go even a step further, that they announced their TV deal that same night and where they're going next. So basically you'll everything will come full circle where TNA gets their belts back. TNA's about to move to a new network and get more money, and and then we're off to the race as far as making TNA, in a lot of ways. I some people see them becoming the number 2 promotion. I do think they're a little bit away from that, just depending on where they go to.
Yes. But
I do think that, again, coming off of this show here, I feel like they're heading in a very, very good direction.
Yeah, and the good show for Bound for Glory, that's October 12th. It's the end of July. So that's still like 3 more months to go. Yeah, that's 3 months to letting NXT be the brand, and gives them time to, I guess, find all these extra people
regain the momentum, build things back up to where come October it's like, hey, I can't wait to see, whether it's because Mike Santana didn't get pinned. It was Joe Hendry that got pinned. So I feel like the story isn't quite over yet between Trick and Santana. So like hopefully,
Hey.
We'll see.
Okay. And speaking of momentum, this whole Seth Rollins injury situation, obviously I am heartbroken. That's my boy.
Did you put flowers at the coffee shop or a Black and Brave?
I did not, but I thought about it. I definitely thought about it. Do you think? Okay, because obviously they pivoted Gunther, CM Punk. That seems all well, fun, good. Where are you at with this whole Seth Rollins situation? Do you think it's a work? Do you believe it's real? I've heard some things that it's not as serious as they believe it is. Do you believe that? Do you like that? And then there's this fourth story that's coming out that he is injured. It is bad, but he could still cash it in, win, and then do the heel thing where I have the title, I'm injured now, I'm going to go away and hold on to the title.
No, I can't see them doing that, because especially since it's the world title, it's like, yeah, they can't keep that off of TV. No, but like it would be one thing if like he would only be gone for like a month or two. It'd be if he tore his ACL, he's going to be gone for a hot minute. Plus, he won't be able to work even then. So you can't quite do it that way. But I feel like with that, I have a hard time believing that's a work. And now, as far as how serious it is, hopefully it's something to where maybe they can give it maybe another. If he manages to be able to come back within, let's say, 3 or 4 months, then I'd say they'll probably keep things the way they are. If it's something to where he'll be out until after if it's anything past Elimination Chamber next year, I can't see them hanging on to that, because by that point, you're tied into Mania plans, and unless you can say that, hey, I'm healthy enough to cash in the main event of WrestleMania, nah. I mean, and honestly, I feel like there's a really ready-made storyline within that group between Braun and Seth, to where you could have Braun be the one that cashes in, and then by the time Seth comes back, he's coming after Braun, and and then they have their things. I mean, just with how they left things before he got hurt with that promo that where Braun deboed the mic from Seth. Yeah. Like, that's something that you can eat with, and like I said, it's just a matter of how soon Seth comes back to where he comes back, and now instead of him being champion, it's Braun as champion, and instead of Heyman with Seth, he's now with Braun, and basically it's like, hey, you took my life, you took all this from me, and Braun's like, tough shit. Like he's going full Steiner mode. Like, yeah, do something about it, bitch.
I don't hate that, because Seth could be like, I'm gonna cash in, but he's gonna be on proxy. He's gonna fight for me. He's gonna have the title, and when I come back, I can take it from him. And then he returns and goes, "All right, Braun, give me my title."
Not exactly. So fast.
Exactly. Like, I like that. And then obviously it makes Seth a face, and people can cheer his music, and
they can sing his song.
Yeah, because obviously Seth heel doesn't work as well at the moment, because everybody wants to sing his song. They want to enjoy it, and Braun Breaker actually works better as a heel, because like the barking actually hits harder as a heel than it does as a face.
I think for
I like that a lot.
I feel like for the breakout that Braun is about to make, it makes much more sense for him to do that as a heel as compared to a babyface. I mean, obviously, people love the bark. They'll bark all day long, but I feel like aside from that, like he should absolutely be a heel. So, there's money on the table. Just again, it just all comes back to how soon can Seth come back.
Yeah. Okay. We will finish the episode on Cody Rhodes is a fucking asshole. Excuse my language. John Cena.
How do you really feel?
Because John Cena, he shows up and he goes, "Hey, like, I just gotta let you know, I've been working super hard, doing all the stuff for Netflix and then WWE and all my other problems. Like, I'm being honest, I'm being open, I'm being vulnerable. I can't give the crowd the attention, the amazing match that you all deserve. Like, I got you. Next month,
I care about my mental health.
Like, bro, like, exactly. How many times have we said we need men to talk about their mental health, address their mental health, and all Cody Rhodes did was attack him from behind, dunked him through a table, and committed fraud. Fraud by signing the trophy. And then, in fact, was like, did you read the contract? Obviously, you didn't read the contract.
I'm knocked out. What are you talking about?
Out, Cody. You are not a good person. Not a good person. And
just
now
the
street fight, like, incredibly rude, insane. And the crowd cheering for Cody Rhodes. He's not a good person.
It's just wrong. And hopefully John Cena has his lawyers together. Like, no, this is absolute fraud. I did not willingly sign this contract, and I demand this contract be voided. And I will just see y'all
court where that will hold up. So many witnesses saw that.
Like, I will see y'all at Clash in Paris. Maybe we'll think about it.
Right. Like I now have like even more emotional damage, and I am distraught. I think I need more time off, and you can only blame Cody Rhodes for that. You can't blame John Cena.
Emotional damage.
Like, he was being honest. Like, bro, how could you do that? This man that Cody Rhodes is becoming, I don't know. And the fans are still gonna sop it all up like a biscuit and some gravy, and they're gonna be like, we love this asshole Cody Rhodes. It's so great. He's a hater. Who cares?
Bitch.
It's so frustrating. And again, if people have been watching this, I definitely wasn't pro John Cena, and now where I am, I'm almost pro John Cena. It's crazy.
That's just how life is sometimes. It just comes full circle like that. It's a circle of life. And that's all that we've been celebrating this week. Like, there was one person that died that actually does deserve celebrating this. Our man Theo from the Cosby Show, Malcolm Jamal Warner. That's the guy that deserves his flowers. But anybody who, like, I actually demand that LA Knight changes his colors, because red and yellow, it's not it. It's not it. Like, that's
Becky Hogan, 85. She's been embracing that too. Becky Hogan's been embracing that.
I would say I would demand a switch to light blue and purple. There we go.
Honestly, I've been enjoying the whole Becky Hogan thing.
I will say she was petty as shit. She's on been Monday. Wearing the colors, because like she knew it's like, oh, this is how y'all feel. I got something for that. But yeah, everybody else, if you a baby face, let's go in and say, you know what? I need new colors. I need something that's just doesn't remind people of anybody. Just it's my own thing. Red and yellow. That's 1985.
Hey, and TNA they gave him a little shout, so like what's gonna happen on, and that's kind of the thing.
That was the other thing. Speaking of supposed heroes, AJ Styles returning to TNA at Slammiversary, I think for the first time in like a good 12, 13 years. Like, that's like I'll say this much, just to kind of as an out of the box idea as far as what's going to happen with TNA and NXT. I would say, because like AJ just signed like a 1-year deal, so I think he's about to retire pretty soon. My idea, if it's not Santana that beats Trick, would be for AJ Styles to win the TNA Championship one more time, bring it home to TNA. Not even a case of like where he defends it and loses it. Just say, hey, I wanted to do this and bring this home for you guys, and here you go.
Oh, that would tug on my heartstrings. That would tug on my heartstrings. That would be a good story, and to still see him be able to go out lifting a trophy or a title, a belt,
and not just any trophy. One of the belts. Again, that is the real house that AJ Styles built. Like, there's like everything that's there now is largely on the foundation that he built, because he was there literally on day one, and like the story there would kind of write itself as far as just who they need to save them in this moment. And I think that there's, again, like, I can definitely see where they can keep building with Santana, but if there's anybody else, I think it's got to be AJ.
No, that's great. I like that, because they do, in order to beat the whoever it will be in NXT having the title, the star power has to match. And Mike Santana, yeah, exactly. And Mike Santana's not quite there yet. Joe Hendry is not quite there yet. He's close. Joe Hendry is closer. And no, AJ Styles it would make sense, especially with him like clashing with Undertaker. Yeah, no, this is great. Okay, cool. This was good. I mean, we did a clean hour, I guess. Is there anything else that you want to talk about in particular before we get out of here?
Trying to think.
Obviously there are plenty of things. Oh, actually,
I caught a little bit of Dynamite yesterday, and
I loved it. And you know I'm like, this shit's lame. All the wrestlers fucking suck. Like half the dudes don't look like they're actually wrestlers. Like I know I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to AEW. I had a good time. I enjoyed all the promos. I was laughing. It was good. Except for I saw that Christian Cage got knocked out of the patriarchy. That boy, him standing there all by himself with whoever that dude that was like much taller than him. That's that TNA. That's that shit I was talking about AEW. Like he looks like a goof. Like he's sitting there with a belt, and I'm like, that belt looks bigger than you. Like it is swimming on you, my boy.
So that's Nick Wayne, and like he's pretty young. I think he might be 20, maybe. And
that's cool.
Apparently, you know, he had a lot of hype on the indie scene, but I'm like, you need to stay on the indie scene for like probably another 3 years. Get your weight up. Get some actual muscles. Don't stop look. I mean, obviously, you can't change your face so like that much, so you can't help but look like you're 17. But like, you just gotta, like, you know, you ain't grown enough yet for this field. I mean, like, this is the same company that Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are in. Like, you're dealing with grown ass men, and you're trying to tell me that not only are you in this company, but you're a champion. Like, the curl doesn't quite curl on that one for me, dog. So, and I don't know who it was that said it, but like, I think there was, EC3. He was talking about like the issue with AEW is that like they really do need a true developmental space, and I feel like for them, because obviously as WWE is shown, like you don't need to like travel like that for development. Like you can have your one studio space, do your stuff there. You can travel around a certain area, whether it's Florida, Georgia, Texas, do your thing there and develop these kids to where they can actually be something before they're on the main shows, because all you're doing now is you're creating a memory now as far as what we think of them now instead of like what they could be in another 4 or 5 years. Because there's no reason for Nick Wayne to be on anyone's main roster right now. Like he needs to, keep getting his game up, in a developmental space or the indies, and hopefully in 5 years he actually looks like something that looks like he might not be a virgin. So we'll see.
Like bro still has his mom around him.
I mean, hey, Nick Wayne's mom, how you doing?
Oh, no. Like I'm looking at these AEW seats because they're gonna be in Chicago next week.
Oh yeah.
And they still have a few of the like general admission balcony seats, and that's $42. Like that.
Where are they recording that? Because like all I keep thinking of this looks like a medieval times.
Yes, it's at Aragon Ballroom. It's a concert show. I went and saw like I've seen a couple shows there. It's actually a pretty big place, but they're definitely, it's kind of like old school. There's like this cool like space paintings on the ceiling and things like that. When I heard that they were at the Aragon Ballroom, I was like, oh. I mean, it's a big space. It is a really big space. So, but
just let us know if when they're not recording, if just let us know when the next round of Medieval Times is coming, so I can watch that show too.
The Medieval Times, I do think it's close to the Aragon Ballroom though. They do have a Medieval Times in Chicago. I haven't been, but I've always wanted to go. I'm not gonna lie, I've always wanted to go to Medieval Times.
But yeah, so where can they find the show, Big Crunk?
You can find us on Instagram, on Blue Sky at YFW Podcast. YFW Podcast. Obviously, we're on YouTube. That is under the Shades of Blue Network moniker, but there is a segment of the playlist that you can click, and it is all of our podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the major podcasting apps. Just search your favorite wrestling podcast, and we should pop right up. Greggo, where can people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at greggo.ftcutd.com. You can find the mothership on Blue Sky at ftcutd.com. You can find us on Instagram at ftcutdpod, TikTok, same spot, even on the Bird Box, the same spot. Yeah, we're just out here, doing the goodly work out here in the soccer streets, and get at us. Got the good shit, Not me.
Hey, all right, Greggo, say the thing.
This is Over Here is Crunk. You got Over Here Greggo. This is your favorite wrestling podcast. And until next week, if you can't be good, don't show up on South Park.
Oh man, that shit was good. Oh, and also next week we have a special guest, the homie Flobo Boys, coming through, joining us.
Flobo!
Shout out to Draped in Gold. Yeah, baby. See you.
Flobo, be back.